Welcome to A&M Reviews. I'm Skybear and here with my buddy Sal. What's up, Sal?
Not much.
It's Throwback Thursday, and today we're going to be reviewing Air Force One.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, there will be spoilers up ahead, so watch out for that.
You've been warned.
So, Air Force One is about hijackers seize a plane carrying the President of the United States and his family, but he, an ex-soldier, works from hiding to defeat them. Alright, so, this was a pretty good movie, Sal.
It was, and here's one thing. This was the last of the, those Die Hard movies back in the 90s. So it was the last one, and it kind of capped everything off with, hey, guess who the hero is? Harrison Ford. He's the president, and fuck yeah, he's going to go cowboy on them.
Right.
I mean, it was just action-packed. I mean, just ignore the whole things that can't happen on the plane or blah, blah, blah. But yeah, overall, it's the cliche cookie-cutter movie that basically you can't say you don't enjoy because it's one of those, it's like a cowboy movie, good guy versus bad guy.
No, I totally agree. Like, when I saw this movie, I had never seen this movie until this past week. But
yes.
When I was watching it, just the whole thing, I was just like, wow, this is really 90s. Like, this is, giving me Con Air vibes. Like, this is giving me, face-off 90s action movie vibes. And,
yes.
Yeah, it totally was.
It was. And the whole thing is, we deep down, we like these kind of movies where we get the lone hero who you don't think he's going to be a hero, comes out and saves his family, saves everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, the body counts were up there. They were really up there. A bunch of people died. And then, it's one of those movies, you ignore it and be like, yeah, as long as my hero's still alive, I'm all good.
Dude, when that fighter pilot, was just like, there's a bomb going towards Air Force One. And then he just sacrificed himself. He was like, ah!
Yes.
Fucking blocked it with his plane. Oh my God. I was like, God damn.
I was like, damn, that's hardcore right there. I mean,
I know. I was just like, where's that? Where's that in my movies?
You can't get away with some of the stuff that this movie kind of happened. And I mean, good thing this came out before 9/11 because the director said that if it was after 9/11, I think it was in the commentary in the DVD. He says if it was after post 9/11, he wouldn't have done this movie.
He wouldn't have been allowed to do that movie.
Well, first of all, he wouldn't even want to. That's
right.
What he said. Even if they said, yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, even if he wanted to, he wouldn't have even been allowed to do that movie. They had to take the Two Towers out of Spider-Man 2 for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Okay, first of all, let's give it our grade. And then we'll go into other details. I guess for me, I gave it a 7.5 just because I'm looking at a 90s point of view. It's a movie you can sit down with your friends and everything. You don't have to follow the plot. You just have to enjoy the action scenes and just know that Harrison Ford is fighting on a plane, and he's winning. Yeah. And guess what? Gary Oldman's in the movie too. So.
And you know what? I give it a 7 to 7.5 just because it's a lot of fun, but it's also a stupid movie.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that you're like, that can happen.
Yeah.
Why isn't he shot? Wait, if he got shot, how come in the next scene he's moving his arm again? Stuff like that. But it's one of those movies that you just sit down and enjoy with the beer and friends kind of thing. And just, while you're eating, basically. You don't really have to focus on it. But just when you see, like you said, that scene where the fighter pilot takes a missile for the Air Force One. Now, that's one of those scenes whoa, did that just happen? Those scenes are amazing, the fight scenes. And you can actually see a CG nowadays because, back then it was amazing. But now it's you see how cheesy it looks when they're
I was going to bring that up, at the very end when the plane crashes. I was like, when that happened, I was like, oh, this movie has not aged well.
Yes. And especially when the people on the plane get rescued. Well, they jump off with the parachutes.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think the lady who sent the fax. You see her coming at the camera. I'm like, that looks that looks really fake right there.
Yeah. But I mean, you had, it's 90s. It's a 90s action movie. So, that was the best we could do at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it up there. Right below Die Hard. But I mean, I would still put it there. And just the fact that it's they take the issue of, if the president was in this situation, what would happen? We know what would happen right now, that we would give in kind of thing.
Yeah.
But back then, it was amazing. You never heard of something like this happening because we always hear Air Force One is
it's a secure plane.
It is.
Not the bullshit you have at the airports, this is a secure plane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, just going down the list with the actors, I mean that it's an amazing thing. We got Harrison Ford in there, we got Gary Oldman, Glenn Close, William H Macy. Oh, and also if for those people who like RoboCop, we have the mayor from RoboCop 2, the Detroit mayor in this movie, having a minor role coming in and out of the office, giving them info. I think he's the White House communicator officer. That's what he's titled. But hey, yeah, you got amazing people in this that back in the day they were just either coming out or just starting to show their faces, who are now huge profile people. So
you're telling me
Glenn
that
Close
Air
has been
Force
huge.
One and RoboCop take place in the same universe?
Well, if you think about it, did he become mayor after Air Force One? We can link that to that. If you think about it. Because he went from a position in the White House to becoming Detroit mayor. Because, I mean, think about this.
Or did he go from the mayor to the White House, correspondent person? Dude.
No, I think it's the other way around. Because think about it. He's in the White House.
Yeah.
And then if he wants to run for Detroit mayor, he can just say, hey, guys, it was me. I was in that, Air Force incident and we got out of it. So vote for me. You can trust me kind of thing. So I would vote for the guy who was like, hey, yeah, I was in that shit.
I don't know. Because, I mean, I feel like that. I feel like he would be lucky to get a White House job after the results we've seen of him running Detroit.
No, yeah, but I see it like he would go from a White House person who's like honest and just hardworking to becoming a Detroit mayor, and then he's getting corrupted. Yeah. But I can't see him being corrupted in Detroit and then going to a White House.
So
position.
it's like, I thought you were like leading up to like, this was like when he was at the White House, he was like in his good days, but then he got corrupted, and then that's why Detroit looks like a piece of shit in RoboCop.
No, I mean we're just getting off track. This is like one of those like what if theories. But
I mean, it'd be a pretty cool what if theory. I mean, Harrison Ford would be the president in RoboCop, or at least a president in RoboCop.
Yeah, he was president during the time of RoboCop. Wouldn't he be side by side with RoboCop, like fighting?
Now where is that?
Badass.
Now where is that movie?
Actually, I know. I'm like teaming up.
Know if Peter Weller and Harrison Ford have made a movie together? Because if not, Hollywood, get on this shit.
I don't know. That's a good thing to search up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to you on that. Let's continue. Oh, here's another trivia thing. When the director called up the White House to get access to the Air Force One, they denied him. But then Harrison Ford made a call to Bill Clinton, and he got access. So it's just the fact that Harrison Ford said, hey, director, step back. I got this. And he stepped up and he's like, let me call my buddy. Call Bill.
He got access. I'm like, what? How cool Harrison Ford actually is.
That's an amazing fact.
He got access to Air Force One, and the director didn't.
And because of him, the whole cast got a tour of the Air Force One.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're Han Solo, I feel like there's not much that you can't get your hands on.
Yes. Now, here's another thing. Do you think Bill is a fan of Han Solo? Or is he a fan of Blade Runner? Or is he a fan of The Fugitive?
Or Indiana Jones?
But,
exactly. Just pick one, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, for sure, I got you.
How did that call go through? Like, hey, Bill, it's Harrison. Yeah. You know that plane that we normally cruise around with? Can I have a buddy and go check it out?
Hey, our weekend plane? Yeah, can we borrow that?
Exactly. The plane you let me fly once in a while? Yeah, can we borrow it for a bit? And then here's the other thing. You remember the scene where Gary's getting on the plane as a terrorist, and they scan their fingerprint on the laptop?
Right.
The birthday that comes on there is the real birthday of Gary Oldman.
Oh,
and I think the director said that he wanted to put something in there just to kind of Easter egg. Huh. And I'm like, when I saw it, I was like, wait, like that sounds like it's fake. So I went on Google and I looked it up, and then it's his actual birthday.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
So if you want to wish Gary Oldman happy birthday, just watch Air Force One to remember. Or you could just Google his birthday, whichever one's easier.
Okay, and here's the thing. Ford and Gary on set, Ford told Gary, go ahead and hit me for real during the fight scenes. That gives Harrison Ford, like a manly vibe. Like, yeah, go ahead. Hit me for reals. I'll take it. What actor is going to tell you nowadays, go ahead and hit me for reals?
Well, I can't say Heath Ledger because he ain't around anymore. But I mean, he did say that to Christian Bale,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, you gotta love those method actors, man. Like, they really fucking go for it.
Yeah, and then even on set, people would say that Gary, when he was in character, he was serious. So they even give him a nickname. They called him Scary Gary because when he was in his character, he was really scary. Like the way he would look at people, and he would play the role. And once he was out, like when he was talking to Harrison on the side and joking, because this is the thing, they had a blast on the movie. Even the director called it Air Force fun. And he said that, oh, when we were shooting, Gary and Harrison were like on the side playing jokes, playing pranks, and being kids kind of thing. And I'm like, whoa, so Gary would go from scary Gary to prank Gary, with Harrison. And I'm like, which I want to see video of this behind the scenes of Harrison Ford and him playing pranks or doing stuff.
Harrison Ford having fun? No, dude, you're lucky if you're even going to get a picture of that.
No, and then this is another trivia for those fans who are Toy Story fans. Randy Newman was originally hired to do the score for the movie, but was changed last minute. But Randy still recycled the score that was rejected for Toy Story. So just think about it. The Toy Story we know today, that score was originally going to be for Air Force One. So I don't know if you want to think about it like, oh, it's a action score for a kids movie, or the action movie was going to have a kids movie score. But here's the thing: if you're wondering how it sounds, how it would look, and everything, guess what? They actually cut it with Randy's original score.
Oh, cool! Have you seen it?
There's some bootlegs out there. I still haven't found it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm hearing that people might be selling them, somewhere around San Diego Comic-Con. If I ever find it, I'm gonna.
Yeah, man, I love Randy Newman. Yeah, he's a great composer. Like, does solid work.
Yeah, he does. He does his solid work. But then what the director said that his reasoning for not going with Randy was that Randy's score sounded a little bit...
Sound like Toy Story?
Yeah. But his words were like, it sounded like more of a fun score, and I wanted a serious action score.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but if I do find the bootleg version, I would probably show Skybear, and then we'd probably make a review about it. I mean, I can't literally put it on YouTube because it's illegal.
Right.
So even me talking about it, I wouldn't say I'm going to get it. I said if I do come upon it, Yeah. But yeah, it's out there. For those people who really want it, go and look for it because it's out there and it's confirmed. People have seen it. Okay, next thing is this just happened a few years ago. December 2015, Trump said that, I quote, Ford on the plane, he stood for America. So basically what he was trying to say is that he loved the movie and he thought it was so cool that Harrison as a president would stand up on a plane and fight terrorists, and that's what America stands for, and Harrison is a true American, which Ford got told this through an interview, and he leaned in toward the camera and said, Donald, it's just a movie. Things like this don't happen in real life. You do know that. So it's like a thing like, okay, so do we really want to think that our president is that dumb to believe that could really happen? Or do we just want to take it as, hey, our president loves action movies that involve Air Force One?
Dude, that just shows me that, like, man, out of all, like out of any goddamn soldier that's been to war for America, like any one of them, or anybody else who, like, did something for this country.
He picks an actor.
You fucking look to Air Force One and fucking Harrison Ford playing the president.
And he goes like, that's a true American. Yeah, you want to turn around and look at your troops, what they're doing. Even Harrison said, hey, this doesn't really happen in real life. So,
but I mean, like, if we're gonna go from, like, movie portrayals of, like, oh, this is what a true American is, in the Honest trailer for Independence Day, when they go to the credits and they go like, yes, the best movie extra ever, like, that guy is a true American.
Okay, well, let's move on. Other than that, I mean, there's just a few liners that a lot of people love, and this is one of the ones that I enjoyed, was when Harrison Ford, the president, is fighting against Gary the terrorist at the end. When Gary's about to die, he wraps the cord around him, opens the parachute, and says, get off my plane.
Yeah. I was like, yes, okay, I get it. I get why people say this now.
Yes. Next thing is when Harrison Ford, the president, calls Glenn Close. Her character is Catherine, the vice president, and he says, Catherine, if you give a mouse a cookie, and she responds by saying, it's going to want a glass of milk. And that's basically just saying, like, we don't negotiate with terrorists because, you know, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for more. So don't let him push you around.
Yep.
And I mean, it's a reference to the, you know, the classic book, you know, if you give a mouse a cookie. And I just bring it up because I don't know how you feel about this, but they made the book into a cartoon series for kids. And I saw a few clips, and I really don't appreciate them doing this to stories that I grew up with. You know, because first of all, it doesn't have a lot of story to it. It's just a mouse who you give a cookie and he asks for more and more and more.
Yeah.
For you to take it and make it like a series on Nickelodeon or something, I think it's a Hulu series or something. But I'm like, just the fact that it's going to be a series, I'm like, no, come up with your original content and your original ideas. Leave books alone. They're already done.
We're on what season of Big Bang Theory? And you know, I'm not surprised by anything now.
Yeah, it's just the fact that I just brought it up because of that.
Yeah. So that wraps up a review of Air Force One. Catch us next time when we review Miracle on 34th Street, because believe it or not, I've never seen that.
And it's Christmas!
Yeah, and it's Christmas. Why not? And as always, social media is in the description, and hit us up if you have any questions.
And remember, keep watching movies.